Hey, this is Tony Shrum at Warped Tour 2011 in Nampa, Idaho. On behalf of Bayne Magazine, I'm here with Weird Science and MC Lars.
What's up, guys?
How are you guys doing today?
Good to meet you.
You too.
Good, yeah, doing great.
So, Warped Tour is coming to a close soon. How has it been so far? Everything you've expected? Is this your first time?
It's my first time. It's been more than I've expected. You know, I've learned a lot about myself. We've been hustling, promoting ourselves. Like, you know, you work really hard to stand out amongst the however many other bands, and like you postering and handing out flyers and promoting yourself. And so it's been a great summer. You know, like it's definitely was a lot more work than I thought, but it wasn't too crazy. Like it was definitely doable. And like if you don't party until 4 a.m. every morning, it's possible. But if you do, that makes getting up at 9 really hard.
So do you find a lot of people on tour up till 4 a.m.? Is there some band you're just like, I do not know how they are staying up right now?
I'm sure there's definitely some, yeah. You know, I think we hang out and stuff, but it's hard to peel yourself out of bed at 8 a.m. When you report partying 4 hours prior. So, and you know, we owe our art to, you know, take advantage of the opportunity that Warped Tour has provided for us. So, I know with me and Lars, you know, there's like a really firm belief in the music, so it takes a lot of work, and it's really rewarding though. This is my 4th time doing Warped Tour. My first time doing it is Weird Science, and I gotta say this is like the most rewarding it's been. And it's, you know, it's a direct result from all the work. You put in the work and you get to reap the rewards, and you know, turning people on to your music is a great feeling, and you know, luckily we get to do that every day.
And so I first heard your music because a friend recommended me to you. Like he plays StarCraft. So I mean he gave me like this hard drive full of music, and I was just like listening to it. And then I got to The Graduate, and like I could not stop listening to the album. So and I was wondering like, okay, I haven't heard this guy before, and this music is awesome. It's like, why have I not heard of you? How are you staying under the radar? Why are you not popular?
You know, no, that's a good question, man. I mean, I think I come from like a pop sensibility, and I love pop music, and I think what I try to do is make independent music that has the appeal of a pop song. And all my favorite acts have kind of had that like crossover appeal. Like, you know, Weird Al, like he's definitely nerdy and niche, but like you put him on and people get him, like him. And like, you know, intellectual rappers like KRS-One, like he crossed over, he's intellectual, but he had the pop appeal. So, you know, but the main reason why like I never sold 1 million records is because I've always done everything myself. Always been DIY. Like I've had management companies and distribution deals, but every dollar that's gone into MC Lars has been from my pocket. And so it's been kind of underground. And you know what, I take a lot of pride in that, because like I've been able to tour for 8 years on my own dollar, and like I feel like it's still building, and Warped Tour is a great example of that. And I got to the point where I was able to build my label up, so I was able to work with another artist like Weird Science and like build his career. And like I feel like if you're underground and you keep putting out good music that touches people's hearts, you can keep doing it. Because if you're on a big label and like you sell 50,000 records and then you come back and only sell 30, guess what? They're not going to put the money into you again. Yeah. But for me, like if I sell 5,000, then the next album I do 6,000 and 7,000, I'm definitely going to keep investing in myself and my friends. And
yeah, it's you know, it's worth noting. You're definitely under the radar as far as a mainstream viewpoint, but you know, not a lot of people can go on tour in all these different countries. We just went to Europe together, and every night there was people there, and you know, every day on Warped Tour there's MC Lars fans there, and I think Lars is building up something that's not, you know, flash in the pan. It's not there Tuesday, go on Wednesday, and that takes time. So while it is under the radar, you know, there's 300,000 people in America that are fans of MC Lars, you know, and you know, they come out to the shows and they support him when he comes through on tour, and I think, you know, that's building something that matters. And I know I would prefer that as to, you know, a big pop hit on the radio or something, and then it's gone, you know.
Yeah, being forgotten.
Yeah, you're building, so you're taking your fans on a journey with you as you evolve from record to record. That's definitely something Lars has built up.
And it seems like that's like been the case in like music nowadays. You know, the industry's in like a whole weird phase.
Sure.
And it's just like, if you connect with the fans, like you keep them forever, and that's like the goal.
And it's funny, like how you talk about how you got introduced to me getting a hard drive of music. Like we're all about the file share. because it means people are aware of our brands, they'll buy the shirts, like I give out the free mixtape downloads, you know what I mean? It's like, you gotta put out music that you believe in and be willing to give it away.
Yeah.
And then if you do that and you put out enough amazing albums and like you get lucky, then you can do it as a career. And you know, we don't make tons of money, but we make enough. And this has been our most profitable year so far, and like, it's cool, man. I'm very blessed that our brand of hip hop is finding an audience. It's dope.
That's awesome. All right, so as far as collaborations, I was looking on your Wikipedia page, and I saw like name after name, like these big, like it's an impressive like list of people you've collaborated with.
It's insane, right?
And I'm like, this guy is like DIY artist, and like he's doing all these collaborations. Like, do you ever step back and look at that and say like, whoa, how did this happen?
My two artists that I always dreamed of working with are Weird Al and KRS-One. And the past few years I've been able to work with both of them. And it's just been, it's crazy. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, man, I'm doing what I love, and like I'm building on the shoulders of these people, and like I'm getting props from my heroes. And it's cool, man. I think what happens, people are open-minded to what I do because it's different, and they like the independent spirit of it, and bigger artists are like, they see themselves in what I do. You know what I mean? And that like, there's so much passion and so much like determination and unwillingness to quit. And I think like that's how I've gotten to tour with and work with bigger artists, because they see the fire, like, you know, like that you can't put a price tag on that. You can't pay someone a ton of money to work with you if they don't want to work with you. If they like you, they'll do it for free, and like that's awesome.
Having a guy like KRS-One is a huge testament to that. You know, KRS could, I mean, he's a legend, you know. And just knowing anything about KRS's music, he wouldn't do a collab even for the money. He wouldn't do it unless he was into it. And I don't know if you've heard the song that he does, but the first thing he says, "It's always an honor to spit with Lars." What a great, I mean, that was exciting for me, and nobody deserves it more than MC Lars. So I think it speaks in volumes, you know?
And I also read that you were a judge on the 8th Annual Independent Music Awards.
Oh,
was
yeah.
that something that just came about, and like, was it like one of those moments where like it's an honor moment, or like how did that happen?
Yeah, I guess who else was on it? Like some people from Metallica and some other people. They just asked me to do it. I don't know, and so I did. And like they sent me a bunch of music, and I got to vote on what I liked. So that was cool.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have a live band on Warped Tour with you?
We do. I got my bassist and guitarist, Mike, who's our tour manager too, and then my man John, who's an amazing drummer from Jersey, who helped me co-write the record, and Mike did too. So like for the first album, it's cool. Like having a band that I write the music with is awesome.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Kind of like connect better. It sings well. Yeah. So what are some pros and cons having a live band? Starting with the pros. Don't mind that some of them are in the room.
The pros are that you can kind of improvise. It has more energy. Like during Warped Tour, I feel like the four of us have gotten so tight, and like you can like extend a part or freestyle or like make a part more dynamic, or we interplay with the raps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The cons are that it's expensive, and you really have to rehearse a lot. Because if you don't, yeah, no, and it's worth it because like live hip hop is important. And like there's so many MCs who just rap over tracks, which is cool, but like, you know, we try to take things to the next level.
Yeah, it's kind of more like something you have more to watch. Like if you have a whole band, like a guy up there with a laptop or something, like if you like his music, and that seems like it's okay. But like if you have a band and there's more going on, and like you said, you can interact with each other. Like something will happen different on the shows. Like,
Totally.
That was cool. Let's try that next time. Maybe like capitalize on that and just keep building, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Now on to K-Flay.
Yeah.
I heard, I can't remember if it was on her album or the joint EP that y'all did together, that like she asked you for advice whenever she was first like starting up. And is that true, or is that my line right now?
Yeah, we went to Stanford together.
Yeah.
And she was like a sophomore, and I was she was a freshman, I was a junior, and I was doing my rap stuff, and one of my friends was in RF in her house, meaning she was like one of her advisors. And she was like, yo, my friend raps, can you meet with her and give her advice? And so when I first met K-Flay, like, I instantly fell in love with her, like, in a second.
Yeah, I heard the song.
Yeah, no, and she was like, yo, I want to get going with this. And I was like, you're brilliant, like, you make beats, like, you're really cute, really smart. And I was like, let's set up shows. And so I helped her get shows at the coffee house and like taught her about performance. And then eventually we became really tight friends. And for years, and like we went on tour, and then we did the EP together.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I feel like, and we helped her get her management and like get launched. And I'm like, that's something I'm really proud of. Like she's doing really well. And she's super talented. And like I feel like she could be huge if everything works out. So it's really cool to like been able to help her. And she's helped me. Like she did a lot of beats on the mixtape. And, you know, she's done beats on my record, and she, you know, she's doing Beastie Boys remixes now. So she's always down to help me, like no matter what. And I love her. She's like my little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little sister.